I'm an actor.
I got transferred for work.
And I'm still a Canadian citizen.
The fact that we're not allowed to vote anymore in Canada as Canadians abroad is very upsetting.
It feels as though someone's kind of chipped away at something that's fundamental to who I am.
If you're living outside of Canada for 5 years or more, and you don't have property or a home in Canada, and you haven't been paying taxes for 5 years in Canada, I think not being allowed to vote is reasonable.
I'm sympathetic to the argument that somebody who's lived outside the country for a long time doesn't have the same level of interest.
I listen to Canadian radio still, I stream it, I read the same newspapers that most Canadians do every day.
I'm affected by financial regulations in Canada. I'm affected by any foreign policy decisions.
I've been living in the United States for 12 years now. I pay my taxes exclusively to the US government. I think it would be unfair for me to have as equal a say through voting as a current resident.
Voting rights have never really been tied to residency, so it's a bit of a surprise because you left Canada, you suddenly don't have the right to vote anymore.
In Canada, we don't vote for the Prime Minister, we don't vote for the leader of the country, we vote for a member of Parliament, which makes it a much more local question. And if I don't live there, who am I voting for and who am I to have a say within that riding?
If you're in jail, you're allowed to vote, not even where the jail is, but where you're from. So that doesn't make sense. They don't live in that jurisdiction, and yet someone who's in jail can vote and I can't. I just don't think that's fair.
I might feel differently if I weren't right on the 5-year line, but I also think that there's a fundamental right to vote, and I think that this is enshrined in the Charter, that if you're a Canadian citizen, you have a right to vote in the country, and I'm still a Canadian citizen.
This period of my life between 2008 and 2012, I couldn't vote in the United States, and I had been living outside of Canada for more than 5 years, so that I couldn't vote in Canada either. When that is taken away from you, it leaves you feeling quite vulnerable and like your voice doesn't matter, and it's a frustrating experience.